friend. Hit like, hit share, hit follow. Welcome to Outlaw Radio on a Saturday night. The People's Network presents Outlaw Radio. It's your boy. World-class smartass is in the building for another fabulous, infamous edition of Outlaw Radio, man. So kick back, get you a beverage, relax, unwind, chill, hit like, hit share, hit follow, tell a friend, and tell a friend. It's going down. The premier podcast from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, representing the 414, is in the building. But I'm not alone. I do have my co-host. I have one of my co-hosts here with me. Shout out to Brother Talk, who's on the road, getting some business handled.
Peace, brother.
Right? Shout out to Talk to Teach. He is on holiday, as they say. So shout out to him. But I got my other brother from another mother here with me. What's popping, bro?
Peace. How y'all doing, family? How y'all doing? It's the woman's lover, the black woman's lover, the black man's brother, our children's leader, the hood healer, your holistic health and wellness coach, Kamar Carter. Peace.
What it do? Check out my brother on the Warrior Report, which we do on Wednesdays here on the People's Network. Shout out to my brother Michael. What's up, Mikey? I see you, man. Hit like, hit share, hit follow. YouTube. Go to the YouTube page, man. Get down with it. Support the movement. It's Outlaw Radio. It's fighting words. We live in a time right now where it's beef all over the globe. Everybody got something to say about everybody to everybody. We have social media beef. We have Instagram beef. We have rap beefs. I'm sorry. We have A$AP Rocky sitting his ass overseas in jail and we can't get his ass home. So it's going down. It's a lot going down. The Democrats and the Republicans are definitely going at it with fighting words right now because 2020 is coming up and the battleground is set for an election, a presidential election, an aldermanic election, a mayoral election. All kinds of different scenarios present themselves. So you got to have something to say about something, man. You know, we could talk about it or we could be about it. It's really up to you. But other than that, welcome to the show, man. What's up, man? What's going on with you, bro?
Life, man. Life. It's beautiful weather out here, man. Got a chance to get out this morning, man. I went down to the it was a barbecue fest down there at the Fondy Mall.
A barbecue festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
But dig this. Hold on. You know, I got something for you, right?
Right. What's that?
It was my people down there, Miss Courtney and Anthony Courtney.
Oh, okay. I know. Yeah.
You know, she does the vegan soul food.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, I got down there and got me some of that good vegan gumbo, good vegan shrimp gumbo, man. Shrimp look just like shrimp, too. Like,
right.
I'm amazed at how they do that. That's something I got to learn.
What were they, though? They weren't actual shrimp.
I had no idea, but it was good. It was plant-based and it was good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there was some plant-based sausage in there also.
Okay.
Then I even got down to Brady Fest. I went down there and did a stroll up and back down the street.
Brady Fest. Now, what is Brady? Because I'm not a festival guy when it comes to festivals in Milwaukee. So what's Brady Fest?
I hate I love all. I go to all the festivals, all the big block parties.
Right.
Man,
you just there.
You know what I'm saying? They see me there. I love our people. You know what I'm saying? So I like to get out and mix it up with them. Okay. But Brady Fest, it wasn't actually our people. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't our community, but it's down there on the Lower East Side.
Right. Okay, I'm familiar with that area.
But you know that whole strip, all the way from down there by that Walgreens way down there. I forgot what street that is, but all the way up. You know what I'm saying? It was a big fest, like a bunch of different vendors, a lot of people out there. I went early too. Like it was a gang of folks out there.
Okay. All in the spirit of it being summer and you being able to get out and enjoy the weather. I hope everybody's finding something to be happy about. Like I said, right now is a very tense time, man. Fighting words, Outlaw Radio, fighting words. And we wanted to do this show last Thursday, but I had some technical difficulties that I had to address. So, right now I got a bunch of bells and whistles. Hey, listen, when something goes wrong, man, I get to work immediately. So wires and cables and all kinds of stuff all over the studio, but that's what it's about, man. Know where you messed up at so you can fix it. And I hope everybody takes that advice in your own life. Know where you messed up at so you can fix it. Now, like with the fighting words, we always looked at words like the actual conversation. I looked at it on different levels because, number one, conversation has always run the nation. But when it comes to aggressiveness and taking particular stances against certain issues, those fighting words kind of precursor what was to follow, the fight, the battle, if you will, right? So we don't know where it's coming from right now. We don't know what's going to explode first. Is it going to be this real serious, tense line along racial connotations in this country, in which black and white people have some serious issues right now? Trump, who is the poster boy for racism, has come in and kind of enforced a regime of excusable racism, if I can't, for lack of a better term. What he's really done is he's created an environment where it's cool for you to be a bigot. And if you always were a bigot, but you were scared to voice that, now you have a platform, so to speak. Now you have somebody who endorses your beliefs. So is that going to explode first? Is the unnecessary Gestapo tactics that police utilize against black people in the communities, is that going to explode first? Globally, we talk about the battle for fossil fuels and tariffs and trade wars. So right now, you don't know where the fight is coming from, but it's a lot of discussions. That's heated discussions, right? So fighting words on a Saturday night, man, declarations of aggressiveness, I like to call them, not necessarily declarations of war, but declarations of I'm holding my ground, I'm standing my ground, make your next move be your best move. So we're going to talk a little bit about inflammatory language, right? Ironically, on a podcast, we'll talk about inflammatory language.
I like that too.
Shit that gets
like
you going.
I mean, inflammatory language.
Inflammatory language.
I like that.
You think about that. There's certain stances, right? Certain ways you can come at it. You say, ooh,
yeah,
that was hot.
Yeah.
Hot
You know
right
what
there.
I'm saying? That's dope. I like that word.
Yeah, so let me know what y'all think, man. Hit like, hit share, hit follow. We got to get people in to let them know the show is going down. I'm sharing it. You share it. Share it as widely as you can. It's me and your boy, Kamar Carter. He's our herbalist. If you don't know, Brother Bull joined the People's Network, and he's kind of like a brother who works the inside. Like, I talk a lot about socio-political issues, but Brother Bull is on a different realm, on a different plane in terms of making sure that you can get your ass out of bed and go protest, right? I would go with a foot swole.
You got to be healthy enough to do this.
Right. Take energy. So talk about Nature's Nature, man.
Okay, all right. Now, Nature's Nature herbs and supplements. This is something that I comprised of myself. I have a detox on the line. I'll tell you about that in a second. I got a liver cleanse, a fibroid buster. I also have something to clean your intestines out, the digestive tract cleaner. I also have spirulina. I have a vitality mix that a lot of y'all would like. I'm telling you, men and women both. I use herbs that help men get it up, and the same herbs help women enjoy the pleasure of an orgasm. And also at the same time, this same capsule, what I have, the vitality mix, is good for your blood pressure. So if you got high blood pressure, this pill right here, these capsules here, you know what I'm saying, is something real good for you. It's like a double whammy. It's going to get your blood pressure together and get your sex life together. Holla at me. Nature's Nature Herbs on Facebook. Go and like it. Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements. Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements. I also have a Facebook group on Facebook called Healthy Self ... Heal Thyself. Come on in and like the page. Get this good information. You know what I'm saying? You got any questions? Shoot. If I don't know the answer, I will find it. But then I also have a lot of other smart people in this group too. So if I don't have the answer, they may. I'm telling you, this is a dope group to get into. It's more like a support group other than just a health group. You know what I'm saying? You got a path you want to get on. You got support here on this page. You can add me on Facebook, Kamar Carter, and get to me directly also. So yeah, that's it. We just had a sister on here too. Okay, remember we was talking about finding the conscious system?
Yes.
We got a sister on here named Universal Nature. I need to get on that podcast. Well, I'll tell you what, we need to link up sometime and we do a couple of little interviews, see what your conversation like, and see how well would you fit on this show. But we are looking for a conscious sister to get on. We like that insight too. Feminine energy is dope, and we need a little of it too.
Well, yeah, when we talk about fighting words, we talk about fighting words, but there's fighting words. And I didn't even get to that because sisters is called to the front line right now, because of Bush's crazy racist tactics. Sisters got to stand with us. This ain't the old days where we want y'all to stand behind us or stay at home. No, have gun will travel. Sisters got to come with us now. Sisters possess a lot of power. They possess a lot of position.
Oh, yeah.
Just in the natural order of things. So we will never leave out black women. And if there's a black woman out there right now that feels like she can come and bark on this porch, she is more than welcome.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
A sister can be here with the gypsiness, as we used to say in my old neighborhood. You can get here with the gypsiness. It ain't no thing, man. Teamwork makes the dream work. So no doubt she can come on. Clearly Clever on the YouTube says, "What's popping with you, man?" He said, "Tell the medicine man I got a pain in my neck. What should I take for it?" Right. Clearly Clever is a crazy supporter from California, man. You got to understand that.
Yeah. Well, pain in the neck. I don't know. It depends where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? I'd have to know what it stems from to be able to help you with that.
Right. And he should know that. Shout out to Clearly Clever, man. But when I talked about this war right now, because people don't really understand, or the potential for war, that there are a lot of black Republicans, and there are a lot of old black Republicans, brothers and sisters who have their pension, who've lived through Reaganomics, who lived through Ford, Carter. Hell, they remember Kennedy and Eisenhower. And right now they're living out their golden years collecting a pension, and they don't want you to say anything bad about Trump or the Republicans, right? Mm-hmm. It's way more than you think. And there's words and there's heat coming from black Democrats towards those individuals, right? You don't even know if these old people gonna get together in the room one day and just throw them and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because right now we have a serious case of misunderstanding in the United States of America. Everybody misunderstands everything, and they do it on purpose because people choose to leave out facts. It's like if you come at somebody with some realness, they intentionally choose not to pay attention to everything you said, right? They intentionally choose to leave out the parts that are important. So now y'all got beef. Now we got fighting words. Now when somebody asks me, what's up with you and so, man, I don't know. I whoop dude ass, man. I do better leave me alone type shit. So communication, man, is everything, man. And what we really have to work on in terms of America is allowing people to have an opinion without getting so goddamn upset.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You don't agree with somebody, now you want to fight them.
Right. First thing we got to understand, I say this all the time, we got to understand that everybody has their own opinion. You know what I'm saying? We're entitled to our own opinions as part of our individuality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that our way ain't always the right way, and it's never the only way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And peace is when you can come to terms with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, you could think what you want to think, fine. I know what I know. You know what I'm saying? That's okay.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But it gets twisted when somebody thinks that their opinion is the absolute positive bottom line truth, right? He said he got a pinched nerve, but it's affecting his shoulder. He said nerve pain from a fused disc. That's Clearly Clever on the YouTube feed. He wants me up, man.
I'll tell you what, blue vervain. Find out, it's a herb called blue vervain that soothes your nerves.
Okay, blue vervain.
You know what I'm saying? That may help.
Blue vervain. Okay, well, you got your answer, Clearly Clever. But let me know what y'all think about, because I know everybody out there has something they're pissed off about. We talk about fighting words. We talk about the Panthers storming the community, brainstorming breakfast this morning, aggressively. Yeah. Oh, yes. Barrett, all of the Bucks owners, Mark Lasley, all these individuals are there. The Panthers come through the door with the heat, man. Coming in hot, as they say, right?
For what?
Because the injustice, there's Milwaukee right now is a very funny situation because you have a city that basically tops the nation in most of the most negative categories and statistics that you could possibly come up with. Even to the point where we have an infant mortality rate that's on par with a third world country, right? And we have hyperviolence, hypersegregation. We have so much racism. We have income gaps. We have achievement gaps in our schools. And because they built some new buildings downtown, they want to sell the dream that Milwaukee is popping, that Milwaukee is a city of inclusion. Well, we beg to differ and say Milwaukee is a city of illusion, because you can easily look at the billions of dollars that are invested in the infrastructure downtown, but then you look at the surrounding communities. You know what I mean? Right. Like the ghetto is 5 minutes away from a $500 million stadium. And you can go from
not even 5 minutes.
Not even 5 minutes.
Walking distance.
Right.
5 minutes.
Right. So there are some black people in the city who are really pissed off about that. They say, hey, that's bullshit. do it right or don't do it at all. So the Panthers kind of represent that notion. And they have these community brainstorming breakfasts where leaders from the city, quote unquote, and I use air quotes on purpose, they get together and they come up with ideas and strategies and they talk about situations, but they always end up making themselves feel good, eating some breakfast and then going about their separate ways. I say that because nothing has come out of these meetings. So they decided that they were going to go in there today and start some shit, as you said. And that's what they did. Right. You know, the mayor was sitting there, but I've seen them confront the mayor before. I've seen, you know, the general talk to the mayor before and ask him direct questions like, can you give me an answer why billions of dollars are going downtown, but the people of color in this city still suffer? You know, you talk about jobs, but where are the jobs? Right. You know, we don't want to work at the new Dollar General that y'all building. I can't raise a family on that. So that's what it was. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. The show is interactive. My brother's live. I'm live. It's Outlaw Radio. We're live on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, man. Let us know what you think, man. Once again, we had another situation where a 5-year-old girl was shot as a result of a road rage incident in the city. The second one this summer. Now, thank God this little sister was just shot in the leg. Not that you can thank God for somebody getting shot, but she was only shot. The other sister was shot in the head. Right. She passed, right? They just had her funeral. And the mayor was there, and he
right around
he
the corner
spoke
from each other too.
Right. You know so fighting words, man. You know, we got this issue, man, with ourselves and how we deal with situations, conflict resolution. You know, like I said, man, it's two things you see a black person do, you already know it's going down. Number one is if he put his hand up here and bring that motherfucker down real quick like this, he's serious as hell. And if he say, "Oh my mama," right. Fighting words, it's about to fucking go down. So, you know, we get in these situations, man, and we can't get out, man. We, you know, I feel like a lot of times I understand the anger, but I feel like black people in this city have kind of given up because they no longer believe or trust in a system of legislation. They don't believe in, well, if I go vote, like my vote means nothing.
Yeah, well, you know, ain't nothing been going their way. Ain't nothing been going our community way. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of expected. And maybe it was designed for that too.
Well, it's all a strategy of war, man. It's all a strategy. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do think it was written. I do think that the plan was launched intentionally at poor people, and in particular in this city, people of color, just an attempt to keep you on the outer edges of things. Like you can't really get in and get the money. The money. We'll let you open you a daycare or barbershop or something. Right. Go buy you a little fucking pair of spinning rims, nigga. Right. Like, but we don't want you to have no real political influence and status because, God forbid, what if we inspired all people of color? How shitty would that be for white America? So let me know, man. Am I the only one pissed off? I see you got some people. You're just going wild. Clearly Clever is talking up a storm on the YouTube. What are you talking about? I don't know. Let me go ahead and check, man. Shout out to Clearly Clever, man. I can say one thing. That brother supports the show. And we got some subscribers, but y'all need to subscribe to the YouTube page.
Brother. Peace. We appreciate you.
He said, let's work backwards on this. And he's going on. He said, you know, what's that called? Bloomberg. Okay, Kevin, let's work on this backwards. Where on earth is the model for black society? Very good question. Very good question on where on earth is the model for black society. I want to tell you something about black society. That's my opinion. Black society is uniquely American. There is no blueprint. We're writing it as we speak because America created black people. There were Africans, but they weren't considered black people. They were called Africans, Nigerians, Kenyans, you know, wherever you were from, Somalia, or wherever you were from in Africa. So there's those people. And then there's black people. That's a race entirely, to me, via colonial, the transatlantic slave trade, the diaspora of Western Africa, these kinds of things that end up with, you know, antebellum slavery creates the black man. He's devoid of tangible history, right? No love was ever given to him. No consideration, no anything. He's considered a pariah, black, right? The darkness, right? Darkness. Right. So that's why there's no model. We're writing the model. The question you should be asking is why no black politician ever wants to step to the fact that there's no black agenda. Why did we let Obama get away with saying he wouldn't do a black agenda? Why have we voted for individuals who take office and we do not demand any kind of accountability for people of color or our communities? You can come in my church, you can kiss my babies, and after the election, then I can kiss your ass because I won't see you. Right? Why ain't we thinking about that the next time you come to kiss babies and say, not today, boss.
Right.
Not today.
Right.
Sit your ass in the back.
First.
Right. Get something done. So that's the reason why you don't see a lot of black anything. Well, what black businesses gonna do better? When have they allowed us to do business without fucking it up? I hate to be the type of person who even be talking about Black Wall Street, but you think about it. When we've shown them that we can get off on our own and do for self, they come in with a monkey wrench, right? It's the side effect of integration. Integration was, for some people, the best thing in the world. I think for us, it was the worst thing because it destroyed our infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
We were so happy to get to go in these stores. We stopped going to our own stores.
You know what? How about this, though? I'm just thinking, right?
Right.
Now, what if talk about the whole integration thing and how we, the Black Wall Street, how they all was in one spot and got their stuff together, but then they bombed it.
Right.
Okay, well now, we integrated, right?
Allegedly.
If we was all on the same level, you know what I'm saying, riding the same frequency on what we need to do, we could still spend with each other. We could still do whatever we got to do, spread out. How would they blow that up?
Well, I'm sure they'd come up with a way.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. We know where to send our money. We spend our money in certain places. We all just know this. If we can come up with some kind of plan like that, you know what I mean? I think we can stop that from happening, that same Black Wall Street outcome.
Yeah. Even with that, for me, I'm personally one of them dudes who believes that, have a gun will travel. And I don't understand how you could ever amass wealth. I don't understand how they allowed themselves to have these businesses and have all of this currency and didn't have no guns.
No security.
How you ain't have guns? Somebody got to bust.
Yeah.
Somebody got to die so everybody else can live. So, I don't know. And living in the society that they lived in, they should have been proactive with that. Like, look, y'all know these white folks coming to tear us down.
Yeah.
Right? Load these, we got enough money. Now, I'm not saying you still wouldn't have gotten blown out the water, but, at least it's like the old rap song said, I took two with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if we fought back. Maybe that's the reason they brought the planes in. Maybe that's the part of the story they don't tell, in which brothers was like, fuck that, and went and got their pistols. Because they hunted. I know they hunted.
Yeah.
So they had some guns. So maybe that happened, and that's why they brought the bombs in. So, but I'm saying that model of us really being able to separate and do for self has been attempted on our part. Because believe it or not, Black Wall Street was not the only. There was black towns everywhere. You look at Rosewood, and that's the movie, right? All those black towns, man, that were black people went off to do their own thing, and still, here comes Mr. Charlie, right?
Mm-hmm.
My mama said they called him Mr. Right Off because he'd be right off his horse and on your ass in that cotton field if you ain't picking fast enough. So, fighting words, man, on a Saturday night, man. It's Outlaw Radio. It's your boy, Kevin Barnes, the world-class smartass, the mouthpiece of the movement, the militant with a microphone, a.k.a. the Negro Whisperer, with my boy, Kamar Carter. Some people may know him as Bull. He's our herbologist. What you say you was the black woman lover and the
black woman lover, the black man's brother,
right?
Our children's leader,
right?
Hood healer.
That's what's up.
Your holistic health and wellness coach.
Live from the Dairy State, right? On a Saturday night. Hope y'all getting dressed. Hope y'all getting ready to go somewhere, man. I hope you had a good day. It is summer. We finally got that those temperatures we were kind of looking for
on a consistent basis.
Yeah. We finally got it. Everybody said, when the summer ain't never coming. That's why, and you know what? I will give some people credit. I ain't heard nobody complain about the heat this summer at all.
I have, but I check them right away.
Have you complained about it?
Check them. As soon as they say something, how hot it is. Hey, remember we had that 2 feet of snow?
Right.
In May. What I'm saying, man? Look, I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. I'd rather be in 100-degree weather than 0. You know what I'm saying? Because that cold shit hurt. You know, you stay out there in that cold, it hurt. You sweat in the heat, but hey, I appreciate it.
I'm a fall guy. I prefer a more mild situation, but that's just me. I won't be the one to complain either about it. I tell you that much. So clearly clever. He said black came before African. African was coined from Leo Africanus travels through a continent not named Africa yet. Leo Africanus travels were in 1550. So clearly clever is in the YouTube dropping facts. I'm gonna get some conscious people.
To my understanding, the original name for Africa was a Kebulan.
A Kebulan, right? And we know this, right? But when I speak black, see, when I say black, once again, to me, this is just my opinion. To me, black is uniquely American because the music, the culture, the arts, it's an amalgamation of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's not traditional. So you can take a drum, right? You can take the African drum, and you can take those rhythm patterns, and that stuff all originates in Africa. But the drum beat patterns, the use of samples, soul, funk, that's originated here in the United States by black people, right?
Yeah.
So that's unique to America, right? This is just the reason why Motown wasn't in England. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and we also understand. We understand black is not a nationality.
Right. Yes. Right.
Yeah, we know it's not a nationality, people. Let's be fucking real. You know what I'm saying? I hate when we start talking black people this, and then it's always somebody to get real objective. And you like, black, what nationality is that? Man, come on, man. We all know it's not a nationality.
My skin is brown. This is not black.
But I feel like it's just something that our people identify with.
Yes.
Not as, but with. This is what we identify with each other. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and it's been happening for a few generations now. You know what I mean? And it's real comfortable. So, yeah, I'm going to say black. You know what I'm saying? So what? I know it ain't no Africa, America nowhere. You know what I'm saying? No shit, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But let's just be real about it. The fighting words again.
I was just finna say, the fighting words now.
Fighting words. Just by saying black. We black people. Oh, shit.
Why, brother? Why are you black? Why would you want to beat that?
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Don't you know black means death?
Right. All this kind of stuff, man. And how much of your argument is what was taught to you or told to you?
And not only that, but what difference do it make?
What difference?
I mean, how is any of that helping you right now? You know what I'm saying?
Think about the answer before you answer.
Yeah, really. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time, these arguments that we have with each other, the shit ain't that damn serious.
Nah.
Not right now, it ain't.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of other shit in our motherfucking way. A lot of other shit that they using to hurt us. They using to block us. They using to kill us. You know what I'm saying? Then to be arguing with each other about where the fuck we from. Right.
And you see the Trump thing, they want to impeach Trump very badly. And you know, it's bugging me out because there's African American, or what I guess I was going to ask you, what is an African American? But there's black politicians who Trump is basically, you know, like he tells Elijah Cummings, like, go back to your rat and roach infested district.
Yeah,
shit,
man.
Right?
Oh
like,
my God.
Like fighting words, right? Like Trump is real, like fuck you niggers, like on some real shit. And black people are pissed. He told the one Muslims, you go back where you came from. Like he's speaking the language of white angst and white hatred.
You know, it's crazy to me, man. Like they talking about impeaching now, starting the process. But shit, they start the process now. By the time it happens, it's gonna be past the next election.
Right. Okay. You could impeach him, and he's probably committed enough crimes to deserve impeachment. That's real talk. But why don't we just vote his ass out?
That's it.
There's a revelation.
That's it.
Just vote him out. Like we don't have to go through all these unnecessary steps and phases, man. Just vote the man out. Black people, listen. I know last time my problem was that I didn't like the candidate, right? So it was choose one or none for me. But this time I will make sure. And I think right now I have enough minimal material to vote. I feel like I have a candidate, but they I keep looking at them. Every time I look at one, they say some dumb shit, right? Like, I can't really go with Kamala, which is fighting words for a lot of black people. Kamala's just her history and her work in law enforcement with, being a DA and attorney general in places where mass incarceration was popping hard. Man, it makes me question her. Right. And just the fact that she ain't even married to a brother. Look, it's her personal business, but it says a lot to me, right, about who you actually are. So I can't really go with her just yet. She's come up with some things with the housing thing and trying to get rid of, student debt and all this kind of stuff. I'm looking at them and I'm saying, would you be able to really do that, though? Like, could you get that through what's probably going to be, if you were the front runner, they'd make sure they controlled the House and the Senate. So it'd be that same excuse that Obama got, that, oh, I couldn't do anything, or he couldn't get nothing done. Them white folks wouldn't let him get nothing done. So you can come up with shit right now and say you do it, but are you going to be able to pass it? Are you going to be able to get it done? Cory Booker, on the fence with him, got a long history of dealings with Big Pharma. Big Pharma's not your friend, regardless of what you think. And he's taking some money, and not illegal money, but they're one of his biggest supporters. There's a lot of money flowing through his campaignage. Biden, it's just a little bit too spooky for me. I think Biden might be an ass grabber. I don't know. Biden is like a creepy old white dude, right? Like sitting in a corner looking around and shit. Right. And when I look at Sanders, and Biden has some questionable alliances with some white prejudiced white people in his past, or like in his political career. When I look at Bernie Sanders, I'm still not over the fact about him saying that reparations would be divisive. And people have tried to explain it to me. Well, he didn't mean it like that. You can't tell me black reparations would be divisive when you've given reparations to damn near anybody else who's ever been fucked over. Right. And if you've been fucked over worse than black people, raise your hand.
Right. That's what I was just going to say, man. Goddamn.
Right. Get back, son. Right? Leave that boy alone.
Right. Come on, man.
Right. Stop it. We used to say, come on, player. So, when it comes down to it, I'm saying, you gotta vote smart and you gotta be informed, but we gotta make a move. Unless you really want 4 more years of this. And that's the question that everybody really gotta ask themselves. Do you really want 4 more years of this kind of trauma and drama? And every time you turn around, this dude is wilding out on Twitter and passing some kind of, the government is trying to bring back the federal death penalty right now. Right? Mm. They trying to vote, and they trying to slip this. They trying to slip this past you, so that you don't notice. And they use all kinds of foolishness to keep you distracted. Right? This is why you get all this news of Kardashians and all this fake celebrity worship. This is why you should, like, I care about who the fuck what celebrity is wearing on a red carpet to whatever fucking award show. I don't really give a shit about none of that. But these are the kinds of things that they throw at you to keep you from paying attention to what's real. Mm-hmm. So, Beyonce was wearing Winthor or Gucci or Prada. Fuck, I don't care. Right? I don't want to. I'm not into award shows, as you can tell. But I'm just saying, they give you a lot of that in America. You get a lot of fat to chew, so you won't really be able to tell what the meat tastes like. So that's why my brother say he don't even eat meat, right? So when it comes to the distractions, even with your thing with the food and all this kind of stuff, I'm looking at TV because now you got me watching commercials. You got me watching the sandwiches and the food and all the stuff that they are advertising that we want. They want us to.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell you, man. Any food that's got a commercial is bad for you. Think about it. Okay. Think about that, y'all. Any food that has a commercial is bad for you.
Okay. Now, why do you say that?
Well, think about it. I mean, because it's all manufactured. Everything, any food
process.
You don't see no commercial for bell peppers.
Right. No, you don't.
You don't see no commercial for Apple.
You used to. There used to be commercials.
Yeah, you used to for the companies that sold apples.
Michigan apples, Washington apples.
But you don't see no commercials telling you to go eat apples. Go buy some apples. It don't say what kind of apples. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You don't see commercials about we used to see commercials about bananas too, but no more.
Chiquita bananas.
Yeah, but that was the company they was promoting. It wasn't bananas. You dig what I'm saying?
Right. Well, some got to get a company or there's no commercial. So
yeah.
I don't give a damn what it is. That's why rhubarb ain't got no commercial. I don't know if you eat rhubarb and shit, right?
Rhubarb besides make pie.
Right. Nobody eats rhubarb.
Besides make pie.
Right. And I've never even eaten rhubarb.
I've never had a rhubarb pie.
Now I'm tripping off Clearly Clever. He's saying Elijah Muhammad. I'm thinking he's talking about Cummings. Elijah Cummings sold his people out. That's a fact. Don't be pissed because Trump calls Elijah out like a boss. You should agree with Trump about Elijah. You know what? He's talking about Elijah Cummings, and I believe Baltimore is what he represents. Let me tell you something. As far as criticizing the man on how his district is, that's one thing. And saying, hey man, you represent like one of the worst districts that there is, so you need to shut up. That's fine.
Right.
That's fine to do that. But when you start making assumptions and saying, using real definitive language, rat and roach infested, this on the heels of you telling another person of color to go back where they came from.
Fighting words.
Right, it's fighting words. It comes off because now you shitting on the people that live in the district.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the same people you want to vote for your punk ass.
Yeah.
So it ain't really about Elijah. It's about the personal stance Trump is taking against people of color in this country.
It's deeper than you think.
Right. Well, if you're black, and people who ain't black tend to either not understand or either act like they don't understand what the fuck be going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I always look at it like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I know what you mean. Right? And you know, well, you should agree with you. First of all, don't tell me who to agree with. Right? I make my mind up myself. Yeah. Right? I don't need no white person to try to convince me, well, the Democrats have let you down. 40 years they've been in control. And look at the black community. It's time to vote Republican. Nah, I'm straight. I'm straight. Let me, this one I'm going to figure out on my own, right? I'm not really taking advice on this. So it really comes down to influence. And like we say, even with the hip hop thing, like, and you know, I'm a hip hop dude, so you got to forgive me because I tend to reference a lot of shit with hip hop. And I look at the state of hip hop right now. I look at social media beefs. How do you have social media beefs? But you know what you do on a social media beef? You use fighting words.
Right.
Right? You use it, right. You use the kind of language that you know is going to get the pot stirred.
Right.
Right. So we look at hip hop music and we look at cats now have Instagram beef. And they meet up somewhere sometimes and throw them about what somebody said.
Yeah, we even see people get killed over this.
Right. People die over this shit, right? Yeah. Like even outside of hip hop. So everything is but see, we're a society that loves words. We love the sound of our own voices. And this right here, what you're watching right now is a result of that. Why do you have podcasts? Because everybody feel like they got something to say.
Right.
Why does YouTube exist? YouTube.
Right.
Right? Putting TV to rest. There's more people on YouTube. And fuck, it's like the TV is dying.
Yeah, it is.
You know, people cutting the cord.
I hardly ever watch TV.
A lot of people don't because we want to hear what each other has to say.
I catch the weather and the sports in the morning. Man. And that's about it.
That's about it, right? And even the sports shit gets kind of blast, so you end up. Yeah. Some people even listen to sports podcasts.
Yeah, especially this time of year. Well, it's really finna liven up a little bit.
Oh, football's coming.
Football, but you know what I'm saying. Right. But it's a period of time in the year where it's dead.
Right. Shit, this is that when the NBA season is just baseball and shit. Yeah. I love tennis. Like I ain't really care for tennis since Serena went left on us.
Yeah, but then we did get the other little black girl. We got some more hope. Right. We got some more black girl. Hey, we got some more black girl magic out there though. Yeah. I ain't talking about. Yeah, I know she young, but I'm just talking about because
the power to the sister, man. Yeah. But I'm a cat. The cat suit, man. To me, that's black tennis right there.
It may never be another Serena.
Right. Well,
it may never be another.
Well,
Serena.
She already gone. Right. She's with Bob now. So.
Right.
Oh, but sister, he rich. You better shut the fuck up and leave Serena alone. Right. Right. Sisters go off on me about that shit. Like, you better leave Serena alone. So but I'm just saying, it's that time of the year, man. But we love the sound of our own voices. Music on the radio ain't what sells the radio anymore. Talk radio is what pops the radio.
Oh
now.
Yeah.
You know, that's where the money is. So we live in this word-loving society. This is why Trump is who he is, because he can say some shit on Twitter and the whole country will go crazy. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, wait, he didn't do nothing. He just said some shit on Twitter.
Shit that made everybody go crazy.
Everybody's going crazy, man. So fighting words, man, is what we got to think about, man. When even on a personal level, when you communicate with somebody, what kind of language are you using? If you always into it with somebody and it's always drama, and you usually the common denominator, maybe you need to look at how you talk to people. Yeah. Has I ever dealt with somebody who just fucking don't know how to talk to people?
Yep.
Just disrespectful and disregarding
and they can't see it.
Right.
They can't see it.
It's always somebody else's fault.
You know what I'm saying? If you tell them about it, now it's your fault.
Right.
Now they mad at you for telling them, for pointing them out. But that's something though. Like it's fighting words telling people about themselves. You know what I'm saying?
The truth.
You really have to pay attention to your presentation. when you telling somebody about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth hurts. A lot of people, like, that's the hardest thing for you to do is to take a look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that's me. I do that. You know what I'm saying? And then the man part about it, or let's say the grown-up part about it, because there's women too, you know what I'm saying, is to start correcting. You know what I'm saying? Start being mentally conscious of this shit that you do, that people telling you about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to accept the truth.
Yeah, and work on it. You know what I mean? That's all it is. You know, it's something to make you a better person. You know what I'm saying? All around.
Now we're gonna still talk about that because it's fighting words all night. I'm just in the top chat with Clearly Clever on YouTube, and he's talking about we're talking about political issues, and he said talk about Mueller because we started to talk about Mueller the other night when everything went haywire, right? So he said it was down because of technical problems. You know, with Mueller, there was no surprise for me. Like, do we really expect them to impeach Trump? I really don't. Mm-mm. I don't think Mueller. I think Mueller has pertinent information.
Well, you see, that's why I said it. My bag, but they strung it out so long now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now, even if they did try to start doing it, you know what I'm saying? It get voted out by the end anyway.
Right. We don't know. You know, it's
or can they do some kind of quick impeachment?
Well, you can impeach him, but you got to find the right thing to impeach him for.
But I mean, like, can he be gone by next month?
No, he can't. No, he ain't gonna be gone by next month at all.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I would say the main thing is that I'm trying to clear this up a little bit because that looks a little muddy to me.
Yeah, they can't see a new haircut.
Well, I ain't worried about that. I'm not really worried about that about my haircut. I just want people to have clear resolution on our YouTube.
They like, this nigga got a haircut, y'all.
I've actually, it's a good thing that you don't pay attention because I actually got a haircut a while ago. So I'm glad you didn't say, I see you got your haircut again. And then I'm like, whoa, what's up with brother? No, boo. Right, no, man. Leave that boy alone. But no, Trump, listen, the whole Trump thing is a debacle. It's an embarrassment of riches for America because here's a billionaire who obviously is the head of a very powerful billionaire boys club. And they managed to seize power. It was really just a coup that appeared as a general election. But that was really a coup. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's be honest about it, man. It wasn't about, because when you lose the popular election and then you can throw the electoral votes in there, and people still don't have an understanding of the electoral college, which leads to a lot of people choosing not to vote. They say, I'm not going to vote because the popular vote does not count. Mm-hmm. Well, that's wrong. It's wrong, but it's right too.
But I say that too. But I'm still waiting on somebody to enlighten me on how.
Okay.
Because see, like I say, I mean, it fucked me up. Like to see that you could lose the popular election, the popular vote. I mean, you know what I'm saying, and still become president. So that, to me, that just goes completely against, you know what I'm saying, what the voters want.
Okay.
Why are we even voting if we're not getting what we want when we vote?
Well, this is why we got to be informed, accountable. We just got to hold people more accountable. I really believe.
Well, I dig that, yeah. but still, like, but this is the underlying reason why you're getting people that's losing faith in the vote.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, like, really, if you can lose the popular vote
and still
win presidency, what's the purpose of me voting for the president?
Right. But it's that, but it's not that.
See, it's complicated.
Well, it is. It is. It's very complicated.
It shouldn't have to be.
It shouldn't.
None of this shit should have to be. It shouldn't be no parties. It shouldn't be no parties. It should just be people running for president. You know what I mean? If I like what you're talking about, I'll vote for you. If I don't, I won't.
Oh, now you're talking about some fighting words. Black people right now who are defending the Democrats, they will whoop your ass right now. Like, go to my Facebook group, the People's News Network on Facebook. Like, it's people in there really pissed because somebody says something about the Democrats. Like, a black person says, I don't trust the Democrats. To me, their record isn't golden. Man, there's some black Democrats in there that will have your ass. Like, listen, you better read, you better know what you do. Like, why?
Right.
Where you should just be more even about it.
And see, that's somewhere I ain't even going. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't even finna start talking political parties with nobody. I just rather talk about the problems and how can we fix them. I mean, because that's all that really matters anyway, in the end.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Give me somebody who talking about our issues, what we going through in the community. You know, and all the communities as a collective. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then how can you address some of these issues? And then focus on us, man. I mean, when you get in that office, do it.
Right.
Do the shit you said. You know what I'm saying?
I just think the two-party system is what we've had in place here for so long. It's what we use, you know, until, I think, for lack of a better system. Now, there are many other political parties. There's libertarians, there's the Green Party, there's all kinds of political parties. These are the two that people choose more often than not. Mm-hmm. So if more people went libertarian, it would be the death of one party. So it wouldn't be three. It will only be two. So if more people said, no, we're done with Democrats, we're going to move en masse over here, then that party would die. But they have a hold on power that's so strong and so tough and so, you know, so firm that they can influence people to join them. Like, you think about the Democratic Party is not just the people who are running. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of citizens who consider themselves card-carrying Democrats or card-carrying Republicans. Been there my whole life. I've voted there for the last 40 years. It's like saying I prefer Coke over Pepsi. You know what I mean? Or I like McDonald's over Burger King. Like, it's one of those kinds of things. It's being loyal to a brand that's not loyal to you at all. And this is where we find ourselves in America. Until somebody comes along to change it. When an independent candidate comes in and wins the election, the whole game will change.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
That two-party system is dead.
Exactly.
When you get an independent candidate who's so strong and has a grip on the people so tight that they say fuck the Republicans and the Democrats, one of those parties will die if they don't merge. Mm-hmm. and become the Republicrats. Right. And you don't know what's going to happen, man. You don't know how it'll play out, man. So it's something that you just have to watch and observe. I did want to talk about some legislation that's being attempted here in Milwaukee. If y'all been paying attention, Cavalier Johnson, who is a Milwaukee alderman, has come up with legislation in which he wants fireworks vendors to take people's IDs when they buy fireworks now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've seen that. Supposedly in Milwaukee, fireworks are illegal, right? But if you live here, you know that shit's all out. Mm-hmm. Like, it sounds like World War II outside on the 4th of July. Right. And they said the police only gave out like 4 or 5 citations this year, and people were upset about it. Like, you know, I couldn't sleep. It disturbed.
That's it.
Right. I suffered from PTSD, and I was scared. My dog was scared. People really say this, by the way. I think that fireworks have always been a part of the 4th of July. And I think that fireworks go with the 4th of July. It's just like barbecue grills. Like, people are smoking meat and eating. I could complain that they need to start making the cats who sell ribs take IDs and shit, right? Because ribs kill more people than firecrackers do. Right. As far as I know, right? So, you know, regulate. It's funny how, you know, we keep talking about we don't want all this control over us, but we keep coming up. Like, I think it's more things that you could be focused on in Milwaukee other than fireworks, bro. Come on, because what's going to happen is one person who has an ID will go buy the fireworks, and then everybody else will just buy the fireworks from them.
Just like when we was young, and we used to have somebody go get us the 40 ounce.
Exactly.
One of the young brothers out there now, they want you to get them a blunt. You know what I mean? Same shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, can you go get me some bottle rockets?
Right. You know? I mean, you're right. So it's you know, it's like straws, like the gun laws. Why are the gun laws not as effective as they should be? Well, simply because it's straw purchases. Mm-hmm. And people just be like, oh, I'm a felon, I can't buy a gun. Let me go in here and get these guns.
And you know, I think that shit's foul. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, it's a natural right, man. It's a God-given right to be able to protect yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, now I got a drug case years ago. So you saying I can't legally own a firearm to protect my family?
Right.
And this happened over 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but I can't protect my family because of this?
And you can't even be within range of somebody who has
Okay,
a
I think,
firearm.
but what I do think, I think felons ought to be able to get guns, but there ought to be some kind of restrictions also.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay, now if your felony wasn't some kind of
violent gun
case, violent case with a weapon, you know what I'm saying? You should be able to still get a felon. You know what I mean? A firearm.
Right.
Okay, maybe you can't carry it out in the streets, but you could keep it at home to protect your home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you still can't get caught with it out in the streets because you still may be a damn fool out there. You know what I'm saying? So we don't need you walking around with no pistol. Right. But if you at home, you can protect your home.
You should be able to.
You know, you should be able to. That's what I'm saying are the restraints that I feel like should be.
Well, I think it should be, if you say you're a felon and you have a legally purchased firearm in your home, you shouldn't be in trouble for it.
Right.
Now, if you get caught, like you said, if you out here riding with it on you, bam, bam. You know you ain't supposed to have this motherfucker. Yeah. Your ass, get back in that cell. Recidivism, right? And in fact, I say that because there has to be some regulation of guns because we have too many issues with gun crimes. We have too many issues. Yeah. I mean, look, I just talked about 2 5-year-old girls.
And all this over fighting words. A lot of it stems from fighting words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It starts from fighting words. Fighting words cause you that to take care of your career, protect your home,
right?
And all that shit.
And if you ain't from the block or whatever, maybe you don't even recognize what fighting words are. Right. And maybe that's why a lot of people end up standing around watching some shit when they should be moving around.
Right. That or years ago, you know what I'm saying? Fighting words was just simple shit like "What's up?"
Right. What's good?
What's up?
Right.
What's up? What's happening?
What you saying?
Whatever you want, nigga. What you want to be up?
It's whatever.
And then it goes down.
Right. It's pop
fighting words. That shit was so stupid. That's got to be one of the dumbest things I think we could have ever been getting into it with when we was young.
Well, mean mugging.
You know about that. Like, yeah, then that too.
You know, dude? No, I don't know, dude. Why are you looking over here? Right?
Yeah.
What you mean? Why are you looking over here?
The nigga like your shoes,
right?
Or something. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I had a cousin who did some time, man, and he wouldn't anywhere we went. If somebody was looking at him, I don't know if it was just a jail thing, but he, you know, dude, nah. And he to the point where hey man, you know me? And a lot of times it'd be a brother who'd be like, was you in so and so? Yeah, I was too. And it'd be like, oh man, that's why I thought I knew you. And I'd be like, cuz you gotta chill out, man.
Right.
You gotta chill out.
It's a little scary moment before they realize they know each other.
Right. What's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you? You want to gouge his eyeballs out? So what you think about Cavalier Johnson's attempted regulation on fireworks, man? Oh, we talking about on the 4th of July, bro. What you think about that?
Well, you know, it's the 4th of July. Personally, I don't like all that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey, it's part of what's going on. It happens. You know what I'm saying? It's only part of the year.
Right.
You know what I mean? A day out there.
Yeah,
well, you can't say one night.
Well, it leads up and then it dies out.
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's just for a little period of time out the year. You know what I mean? There is some unsafe things about it. And, you know, a lot of the time with a lot of issues, man, the thing about me is I see things both ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I see the pros and I see the cons of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It just need to be some boundaries set. You know what I mean? Maybe it should be some more restrictions to it somehow, you know? I don't know. But like I say, man, it's a party. This is what everybody do all around the world.
So if you get caught right now with some firecrackers and shit, if you letting off Roman candles, I think the police should come and give you a ticket. Because the 4th of July is fucking over, man. Right. What are you doing? Okay? But if it's the 4th of July, I mean, I think you just got to kind of let's not over-regulate things, man. We don't need another reason to give people a ticket.
Right.
That's the last thing we need, in Milwaukee especially. We're over-ticketed it as we speak. And then I had something that was interesting in the People's News Network that you kind of made a comment on. David Banner, the rapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And David Banner said he wants black people to stop worrying about white people or Trump and just worry about us.
Yes.
He stated that he feels like if we pay more attention to our own problems, and worry less about what the other side was doing, we'd be more successful. And we had kind of talked about this on one of the previous shows. But what do you think about the idea of black people not worrying about Trump or racism or prejudice or the Klan and just focusing solely all our energy, all our time on us?
I think it'd be good for our empowerment. We need more time for us to think about us. We got so many issues that we need to work on within us. You know what I'm saying? Our financial status, you know what I'm saying? Our personality, our bad personality traits. It's a lot of shit that we need to be focused on. We need to learn how to live with each other. You know what I mean? How to live around each other. We need to learn how to speak to each other. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So fuck all that shit. We need to worry about getting us some schools, you know what I'm saying, together so we can teach our kids like we want to. Okay, we want politicians that fit what we need, you know what I'm saying? So we need to groom these people.
Right.
You know, you look back years ago before European contact, our communities, people were groomed into different positions. You were groomed into being the king's son. They knew he was going to be a king way before he was, so they was grooming him and teaching him. You know what I'm saying? The soldiers, they groomed them to grow up and be soldiers. You know what I'm saying? So we need to groom politicians, I believe. So yeah, we need to focus on us first. You know what I'm saying? We focus on us, build us up strong, empower us, empower our women, empower the men, you know what I'm saying? And teach the kids.
Right.
And then we could focus on the outside world. Because no matter what, whatever we do, I mean, it ain't like they ain't finna kill us all off. They need us for the economy.
I can agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? So if we just say fuck them and just worry about ourselves. The different friendships that we have, we need to start looking at it like, okay, can we make some money together?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Start thinking about shit like this. Relationships, we get into relationships. Look at your mate. It's like, personally now, I like to look for a business partner. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be like, this is another way. I'm focusing on us. You know what I'm saying? On the family structure. Okay, if we can be business partners, if this relationship don't work later on in the long run, okay, at least now you have something more, and I have something greater. And then we also have a vested interest that we can continue on and continue getting profits from. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we need to start worrying about ourselves and our own relationships, our families, focus on that. And I think everything else gonna start panning out.
And with the money in particular, like the money thing is one thing that's very crucial. Like we have an issue in our community with Arab grocers, and everywhere around the country it's something different. In California, they used to have, and I don't know if they still do. I'm sure they do. Had a problem with the Korean grocers. You know, in New York, you had problems with you know, the Jewish people and the black people couldn't get along because of the way people were treated when they came into whatever store or business that they were in. But the solution to that has to be worrying about us, just us, like getting our own stores. And we can teach them a very powerful lesson. If you had an incident in our community with some of our people and your business fell immediately off, right? Yeah. If we were just, and we just said, no, you know what? We can't beat them, so let's join them in the fact that I'm just going to open up my own corner store.
We was almost there during the Sherman unrest with that gas station right there on the corner. We was almost there with just a little bit of protest.
Right.
Now, if we all had stood on that shit,
yeah, that would have been something amazing.
You know what I'm saying? And then that right there, well, I think that right there would have gave us, as a collective, you know what I mean, a small understanding of what we can do, how much power we hold in our neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? These stores, okay, we could make them bring their price down. Stop going to them.
Yes.
Yeah, now stop overcharging us for this shit. If we let you stay here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, we could choke them out.
We should be able to.
And get those spots ourselves again. Years ago, it used to be like that. It used to be a lot of black mom and pop stores, corner stores and shit around the city.
Once again, here's the side effect of immigration, or integration. I'm sorry, I keep saying immigration. Of integration. Once again, it's us leaving us for them. It's us not going to our stores because we're going to theirs. I still am confused by the idea that if you don't want me in your restaurant, I'm going to make you let me come in your restaurant. If you don't want me in there, I don't even trust you to cook my food.
I heard that, man.
Right? Like if you got a sign up that says no black people allowed, I don't want no food from your restaurant.
Right, yeah.
Because there's no telling what the hell you did to it.
Right, or gonna do.
Right, and no blacks allowed. Them fighting words.
How about I make you a nigga pie?
Right. How much it take to make these nigga pies, right? Stop it, man. Stop it. I agree with David Banner on that, but I think even that has to have structure and it has to have a plan.
Exactly.
And there has to be a formula to doing that. Like, once again, this is why you need a black agenda.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't nothing moving until we get an agenda to deal with us and our issues. Whether it's something that we do on the grassroots level or it's something that we do on the national political level, the agenda must be established. Like, people won't even have business meetings without a freaking agenda, right? But we still, it's almost like we're scared to approach it. Like, if Barrett comes to my church and I'm a voter or I'm even a pastor, I should be able to say to him, okay, but what you gonna do about black people?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the black agenda? Because if more people had said that, we wouldn't have this big ass train and all this kind of foolishness with the funding for this city and have nothing, next to nothing but crumbs in the black community. If somebody had said, that's cool, you want a trolley? Give us something you're gonna do for the black community. And I don't want you to bring another grant funded initiative here. I want you to go out there and compete with Kenosha and Waukesha to get those Amazons and those kinds of those businesses should be coming to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Hell, who got more vacant retail space than we got?
Right. Yeah.
Central City, that we got a 33rd Street industrial corridor that runs through the city that's been dead since the 1970s.
Right. We need to hold people like Barrett accountable too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like if he goes somewhere like in our community, we was just talking about the street fest and all that type of stuff. He does show up sometime at these street fests. I think we need to be bombarding with different issues that we need in the community. Like, I mean, to the point where he either know he ain't welcome or he know he better do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he want these votes.
If he wants our vote.
From this community. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing right there, man. I think it should be some kind of way we could get together, you know what I'm saying, and all know that we finna vote the same way. So they know that if they want our vote out of the community, they have to do these things that we need. You know what I'm saying? Or they won't be. Because, you know, we can collect, our votes are enough to vote somebody in or keep them out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Fire your ass.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So we need to collectively get our votes together. You know what I mean? Or not get our votes together, but vote the same. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how we gonna vote and why we gonna vote. So when we do see these politicians, you know what I'm saying, we can charge them up about this shit that we want. And if they ain't on this TV talking about what we need, you know what I'm saying, you ain't getting this vote.
Right.
You know? So ultimately they know they won't get the job if they don't do the job.
So when we do that, once again, it's the same as not spending our money. Like, we can complain about Beauty Island, or we can complain about all that shit, or we could just make that move. We could just make that move, and you know what I'm saying? Like, when the next politician that come, that you're ready to go say, well, I'm thinking about going down to Brother Bull's Nature and the Turd, and you say, wait a minute, before you go in there, you better be ready for what he's gonna say to you. Well, what is he gonna say? He's going to tell you if you don't have something that's similar to a black agenda, you're not welcome to speak. Because everything else is lip service.
Right.
And I don't give a shit about none of that.
Yeah.
Right? So you can break your arm, patting yourself on the back and saying, oh, well, we're moving in the right direction. We have a new stadium. It's going to generate this. We got the Democratic National Convention coming. But, bruh, answer the question how you keep finding tax incremental funds.
What you got going on 12th and local?
Right. What's going on 12th and local?
Yeah, what you got going on here, over here, and over here? You know what I'm saying? What we gonna do about this? You know what you gonna do about the Stolies when the DNC is in town? Right.
What if one of them get hit by one of these motherfuckers running from the police? What are you gonna do about that? Like, what are you gonna do about the robberies, the murders?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you clean it up for a minute when just where your Democratic partners are in town? That's what I'm saying. These are the things we need to be saying to him, man.
Right.
These are the things we need to be saying to him. and we're not saying them. So in essence, we're letting ourselves down.
Instead, our people running up to him. How you doing? How you doing, Mr. Beard? How you doing? All right, good to see you. Good to see you. Don't just be happy because he come to our shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't just be happy because he there at our function.
Right. See, we
like really fuck him. If he's saying, really, he's saying fuck us by not working with some of the issues that we need worked on. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of stuff going on that's fucked up.
Oh, black people get so starstruck when Barrett walks in.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness. That's how he ends up taking a picture with the brother with the shirt that says broke ass nigga. And Barrett ain't even paying attention. He just taking pictures with everybody, so he don't know what he just did.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And that just goes to show you ain't paying attention.
He ain't paying no attention
to what's going on in the community. This motherfucker made it up right up under his arm.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? To take this picture.
Right. Broke ass nigga is what it say on the shirt. I ain't lying. It's in social media, man.
You can find it.
And I put it all in the People's News Network. Shout out to the People's News Network.
You probably could Google broke ass nigga in that picture.
Right. And go and click images, right? It'll be a
broke ass nigga,
like
broke ass nigga with beard.
This how I keep him. Right. Shout out to 3041 North, man. 414-810-3131. Shout out to my brother Talk to Teach. Listen to Learn was not with us tonight because he's on the road. He's on his way to the ATL, so safe travels to the brother Talk. He will be back next week. I supposedly I'm finally gonna make this Gigolo Jackson thing happen. That's supposed to be coming this week. Milwaukee comedian, very funny brother. What people don't know is Jig has a very good story. Like he has a very deep and powerful story to tell about his life and like kind of what he's gathered and learned from all of his past experiences. So that's going to be great this week. We'll do the Warrior Report on Wednesday night. Get it popping. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
When is he coming? That's Wednesday.
Well, I think we have to finalize something, but I know he said his availability led him to think that Wednesday would be kind of like the night where he could do it. So yeah, very interesting, brother, which will lead to a very powerful conversation. Brother Talk will be back as well. So I know he'll be chomping at the bit to get a piece of the microphone.
That night.
So finally, they're gonna make a Harriet Tubman movie, which I say should have been a movie. That's why people talk about the Sebi movie and Nick Cannon. They're gonna kill Nick Cannon. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck because I'm not really that juiced up for it. People get mad at me for just fighting words, right? Like I say, it's other black stories I'd like to see on the big screen. Mm-hmm. Like I like to see my man's story. I forget the brother's name who stole the steamship and took the steamship.
And like really, you're right. It should these movies should have been made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're definitely right. You ain't wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of people in our history that should have had a movie made about them. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately they didn't. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I mean, I don't knock that about you know what I'm saying, that you thinking that they should have
No, some people know. Cool. And some people
will. And
yeah.
Some people do. You know what I'm saying? They are that high strong about it.
I tell you, we all about words, man. And we're all about in America right now. Like I say, anything you say, you think about it, you get fired for saying the wrong thing at work. Well, it always was like that, but now it's way more like just you say fag, right? Like it's certain words that you can utilize. Like you say something bad about Jewish people, gay people, it's instantaneous over, right?
Right.
Now, in some cases, you say the word nigger. Sometimes.
Man. Hey, at my job, man, a couple of years back, I got a new assistant general manager.
Okay.
Right. He walking around the plant talking to people. We asked this one black guy. I know him too. His name was Eddie Jones, my homeboy.
Okay.
I knew him outside the job too. I actually got him a job, but that's beside the point.
Right.
Anyway, he walking around the plant, man. He asked Eddie, how you doing over here? Eddie told him what he was doing, how much he done today, and you know what I'm saying. The manager patted him on the back and said, "Attaboy, attaboy."
Oh.
You know what I'm fighting words. You know what I'm saying? And see, like I say, man, presentation is everything.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't think about what you say, even if you call yourself giving somebody a compliment, you got to be careful.
Yes.
Sometimes compliments come out completely wrong like that there. He may have been trying to give him a compliment, but that shit just came out too natural. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that's something that he may have been thinking, and it just came right on out. Attaboy.
Right.
But I think generationally, man, you know what I'm saying? It's something where they automatically feel like that. It's like a feeling. Like you got our people, this post-traumatic slave disorder shit. It's just automatic. You know what I mean? Only thing is they would take it from the other side, the master point of view.
Right.
You dig what I mean? And that comes natural to them over the years. All this shit is transgenerational. You know what I'm saying?
No
and we
doubt.
got to do what we got to do now, you know what I mean, to break up out them curses. Let's get away from these fight words, you know what I'm saying? Or at least be more conscious of them and how we use them.
Or sometimes maybe we need to employ the usage of fighting words more.
Yeah.
Like I said, when it comes to elected officials and getting them straight and getting them where they need to be. Maybe we should be more, use fighting words more.
Right.
Maybe we should be more about, no, that's bullshit. We ain't going for that. Whatever, right? Pick and choose. We don't know. It could be whatever, man. It's like that's why you have to keep an open mind about things. Like you can't get too caught up in your own hype, man. You can't get too caught up in your own opinions. You just got to be open-minded, man. You got to allow people to feel the way they feel. You can't be stepping on nobody's toes and trying to really shit on them. And you know, if he wants to be a black Republican, let him be a black Republican, man. You know, that's his. You know, he has to answer. He or she has to answer for that, not you.
Stay light.
And a lot of times when you argue with somebody and you yelling and screaming, nobody's listening anyways.
Right.
So you're not proving a point.
And from a distance, both of y'all look like fools.
Thank you. Very, very true. Very true. So, you know, it's been a great show, man. I always have a good time with me and my brother Hook Up, man.
For sure.
Y'all can hit like, hit share, hit follow. Subscribe to the YouTube page, the People's Network, Outlaw Radio on YouTube. I put the links up. So they're on my personal page, Kevin Barnes. I shared them with you so people can go and subscribe to that. Shout out to anybody who's been listening. I don't like to keep people long on a Saturday night.
Peace, y'all.
Yeah, I like to let y'all go and do y'all thing because I know people getting dressed to go out and they got their Crown Royal and their purple bags and they done worked all week and got that fabulous ass fit. So I want y'all to keep y'all head on the swivel, man, and be safe and be sound and make good decisions. Please be careful. Watch your back, man. It's like I always tell people. I hope you get everything you want, but I hope you want everything you get. You want to say something to the people before we go? I see you got some love over there.
Oh, yeah. I just want to say peace to everybody, man. That was chiming in with me on Facebook over here. I got another angle for y'all to check out, too, if y'all want to. So,
and what's that?
It's on my page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just on my page. The link, same show.
Oh, you were talking about the shot? Oh, I thought you were saying you had another take on the topic. I'm sorry.
No.
I was going to say, well, by all means, let us know. Please share it. Please share, Mr. Carter. But no, man, much love to everybody who supports the show, man. We'll be back this week. Like I said, man, I hope you get everything you want, but I hope you want everything you get. Peace out.
Peace.